I want to go overseas for some breaking news where, in an extraordinary move today, the South Korean president declared martial law. He announced it in a late-night address, saying that the decree would essentially protect the country from what he called anti-state groups and threats of North Korea's communist forces. Less than 3 hours later, South Korea's parliament voted to block that declaration as crowds of protesters gathered outside the legislative building there in Seoul. But the country's defense ministry now says they will maintain the martial law order until the president lifts it. NBC News international correspondent Janis Mackey Frayer is following all of this from Beijing for us. Janis, this was a stunning move, right? I mean, it raises a lot of questions about sort of the integrity of safety of a country, but also about free speech, right? I mean, give us some more context. How did we get here?
Well, this is an extraordinary political move by South Korean President Yoon in saying he had no choice but to resort to martial law to protect constitutional order. But this is basically a move against the government, citing what he called despicable pro-North Korean anti-state forces. He's been in a bitter standoff with opposition members since he was elected back in 2022, and most recently failed to pass the budget. The opposition party wasted no time. They've condemned this move. They've called it unconstitutional and had a vote to lift martial law, which by law the president has to honor without delay. And to this point, he has not done that. So the pressure will now be on security forces because large crowds are gathering outside the National Assembly in Seoul. People are also inside the building. The police are around it. There's a lot of confusion at the moment about where things stand and what martial law means, because under the order, activities are banned, protests are prohibited, and the media is censored. Morgan?
So I just want to be clear on what you just said there. I mean, martial law means essentially everything stops, right? It's been more than 40 years since martial law was declared in South Korea. So what does that mean for the country's relationship with the United States? I mean, it's historically been a very close ally.
Well, the Biden administration says it's in close contact with the South Korean government. They're monitoring the situation closely, but President Biden has yet to comment on the declaration of martial law itself. South Korea is a staunch ally of the U.S. There are some 30,000 American troops stationed in the country to guard against North Korea, which over the past year has become increasingly hostile toward the South. So what we have now is a political situation that is very tenuous, very confusing for most South Koreans who are stunned by what they see unfolding.
Yeah, stunning move indeed. Janis Mackey Frayer joining us live from Beijing. Janis, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.